You know how it is, right? You walk into a cafe, maybe you're at the airport,
Yeah.
could be the library even, and pop, your phone says free Wi-Fi available.
Oh, yeah. Happens all the time. Super convenient.
Totally convenient. Like it's a lifeline sometimes. You connect, you scroll a bit, maybe send a quick email,
Yeah.
perhaps even, check your bank app.
Mm-hmm.
But what if that convenience, that free connection, is actually hiding something? Like a sneaky digital trap that most of us just don't think about.
That's the worry.
So today, in this deep dive, we're going to unpack what unsecured Wi-Fi really means. And we'll dig into one specific kind of clever digital ambush called the man-in-the-middle attack, or MITM.
Right. MITM.
Yeah. The goal here is to give you the understanding, the knowledge of the risks, but also some real practical things you can do to stay safe. So you can go from just, casually connecting to being a much smarter, safer digital explorer.
Exactly. That's the aim. Because when we say unsecured Wi-Fi, what we're really talking about, fundamentally, is a network that doesn't ask for a password.
Like those guest Wi-Fi ones you see everywhere.
Or precisely. Or free public access, things like that. They're easy to join, which is great.
Yeah.
But that ease comes with a, well, pretty big catch.
Okay, so no password means open access. But what's the actual danger there? Is it just anyone can get on?
It's more than that.
Hmm.
The real danger is the lack of encryption. Things like WPA2 or WPA3. Those security protocols scramble your data.
Right, like a secret code.
Kinda, yeah. Without that scrambling, any data flying between your phone or laptop and that Wi-Fi router is just out there, unprotected.
Out the open.
Completely. It's like shouting your conversation across a crowded room instead of whispering. Anyone nearby with the right tools could potentially listen in. And it's that very convenience factor that makes them such juicy targets for attackers.
Okay, let's talk about that listening in, and specifically this man-in-the-middle thing. How does that work? What exactly is an MITM attack?
So the concept itself is actually pretty straightforward. A man-in-the-middle attack is basically when someone secretly slips themselves between you and whatever you're trying to connect to online.
Between me and the website.
Well, between you and the website, you and another person, you and the server.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine you're talking to a friend, but someone's invisibly inserted themselves into the middle of your chat.
Okay.
They're listening quietly. But sometimes they might even be changing what you say or what your friend says back, and neither of you has a clue it's happening.
Whoa, okay, so they're not just eavesdropping, they could actually change things. But hang on, how do they do that without you noticing? Wouldn't something seem off?
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
It often seems perfectly normal. In the digital world, an MITM attacker can do a few things that are hard to spot. They could say, grab your password when you log into a website.
Grab it?
Yeah, they intercept it, make a copy, but still pass your login attempt to the real site so you get in like normal. You don't see anything wrong. Or they might change how a website looks just for you. They could inject fake login boxes or forms onto a real site to trick you into giving up info.
So it looks like my bank's website, but it's got this extra malicious field.
Exactly. Or it might be a completely fake site made to look real. And critically, they can just silently capture everything, emails, chat messages, browsing habits, all while your connection seems to work just fine. The real danger, honestly, isn't just the tech trick. It's how it plays on our trust and our desire for things to be easy. Attackers exploit that.
Okay, that makes sense. So how does this actually happen, like on a typical day if I'm out and about? Can you walk us through it?
Sure. Let's tie it back to that public Wi-Fi. Say you're at the coffee shop, you see coffee shop Wi-Fi, and you connect. Now here's the twist. A hacker might be sitting nearby, connected to that same network.
Okay, sharing the network.
Right. Or, and this is sneakier, they might have set up their own Wi-Fi hotspot right there. Maybe they called it something like coffee shop free Wi-Fi, or even misspelled the real one slightly.
Oh, so my phone might connect to their fake network instead.
Exactly. It might look legit. Maybe it even has a stronger signal. Or even if you're on the real network, the attacker can use tools to reroute your traffic through their device. Things like packet sniffers or techniques called ARP spoofing.
ARP spoofing.
Yeah, it basically tricks your device into thinking the attacker's computer is the gateway to the internet. So suddenly everything you do online, checking your bank, sending that email, scrolling social media, it all flows through the attacker's machine first.
They become the invisible middleman.
Precisely, the one you never knew was there.
And what kind of tools are we talking about? Is this like super complex government stuff?
Not necessarily, unfortunately. Many of these tools are actually quite accessible. Software like Wireshark, for instance, can be used for packet sniffing, just grabbing data packets out of the air.
Okay.
Then there are tools like Ettercap or Cain and Abel, which can automate things like the ARP poisoning we mentioned, or mess with DNS, which is how your computer finds websites.
So they can send you to fake websites too.
They can, yeah. That's DNS spoofing. And those fake Wi-Fi hotspots, those are called rogue access points or sometimes evil twins. They mimic legitimate networks to lure people in. These aren't obscure tools. They're known, and people use them.
Let's make this really concrete. You mentioned an airport scenario earlier. Can you paint that picture again?
Right. So imagine you're at the airport killing time before your flight. You see free Wi-Fi pop up. Great. You connect. You open your email, log in. Then maybe you think, oh, I need to transfer some money. So you log into your bank account.
Seems pretty normal. Something lots of people would do.
Totally normal.
Yeah.
But what you don't realize is that someone else connected to that same free Wi-Fi, maybe sipping coffee a few gates down, has been running one of these tools. Because the network is unsecured, no encryption, they were able to just scoop up your login details for your email, for your bank.
Just like that.
Just like that. In that moment of convenience, you've potentially handed over the keys to really sensitive accounts. It shows just how easily this stuff can happen without you having any idea.
Okay, wow. That really puts it into perspective. So, all right, we understand the risk now. What can we actually do? How do we defend ourselves?
Good news is there are definitely things you can and should do. First off, always look for HTTPS in the website address.
That S means secure, right?
Exactly. And usually see a little padlock icon next to it in your browser. That means your connection to that specific website is encrypted. It helps protect your data for that site, even on iffy Wi-Fi.
Okay, so HTTPS is important. What else?
Second big rule, try really hard to avoid putting in sensitive info passwords, credit card numbers, bank logins when you're on public Wi-Fi. Just don't do it if you can avoid it.
The convenience is the trap again. But sometimes you really need to do something, right? Is it always a definite no?
For really sensitive stuff, yeah, it's generally a no-go on public Wi-Fi unless you take extra steps. While HTTPS is good for that one site connection, it doesn't protect all your traffic. That's where a VPN comes in.
A VPN, virtual private network. Heard of those?
Right. A VPN creates like a secure encrypted tunnel for all your internet activity. It routes everything through a secure server first. Think of it like having your own private armored car drive your data across the public internet road.
Ah, okay. So even if someone is snooping on the local Wi-Fi?
They just see encrypted gibberish going to the VPN server. They can't see your actual emails or logins. It's probably the single most effective tool for public Wi-Fi safety.
Got it. VPN is key. Anything else?
Yep, couple more things. Turn off the auto connect feature for Wi-Fi on your phone and laptop.
Why is that?
So your device doesn't just automatically jump onto any open network. It recognizes, or worse, a fake network that mimics one you've used before without you explicitly telling it to. You want to choose consciously which network you join.
Makes sense. Control the connection. So basically, connection to unsecured Wi-Fi is kind of like yelling your bank details across a food court. You just wouldn't, right?
Pretty much. It feels different because it's digital, invisible, but the risk is similar. And if you're really worried and you need to do something sensitive,
What's the backup plan?
use your phone's mobile data. Your cellular connection, 4G or 5G, is generally much more secure than hopping on that random public Wi-Fi. Save the sensitive stuff for your data plan or a trusted network.
Right, okay. So pulling this all together from our deep dive today, we figured out what makes unsecured Wi-Fi risky, that lack of encryption. We've understood how these man-in-the-middle attacks work, how they sneak in, and crucially, we've got some solid practical steps like HTTPS, avoiding sensitive data, using a VPN, turning off AutoConnect, and using mobile data to protect ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowing this stuff really does give you the power to be safer online.
It empowers you, right? So you're not just clicking connect blindly anymore.
Exactly. And maybe, as a final thought to leave people with, given how easily our online chats or logins can be intercepted on public Wi-Fi, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday digital conveniences might be hiding similar unseen risks that maybe we should be a bit more aware of?